So first off, like I mentioned, this will be your view as soon as you log into the project. The first tab at the top is going to be your summary page. So this is like your high level summary of what the project is. And it goes through each of these collapsible fields. So the goals and objectives of the project, current state. So if there's anything that you're doing right now, or if this is going to be like a net new vendor or solution for the organization, that can all go in there. Your desired future state. So, what you're looking to get out of it, what that ideal world looks like as soon as this is implemented. Benefits from that future state. So when we implement this solution, our teams are going to save X amount of time, or we're going to be able to cut this out of our process, or basically what is going to be the benefit to the company of implementing this new tool. If you are looking to replace something, you could put in current systems. If you are looking to add new functionality and you guys are sort of piecemealing things together to get this function down, if you're working from Excel spreadsheets and you want to get into a CRM, or whatever you're using right now to get that function done, you can put in here if there's anything.
So Casey, this would be a good place for, and since we're using the loyalty RFP, this would be a good place for a brand manager, whoever's filling this out, to add like their CDP or their CRM. What other systems internally this particular vendor that they're searching for will have to work with or integrate with or play with, so that they know whether they're compatible or not. Okay.
Yeah, it could be listed in here. And then when we get to the requirements page, I can show you how that can go into a little bit further detail as well.
Okay.
Before I get down to the bottom sections, one thing too with this page is this timeline area. This timeline, it's a waterfall timeline. If you choose to use it, it's an area where you can keep not only like your team in here, organized with deadlines, but also the vendors when you decide to invite them in. So vendors can see this information. So if you have, you want your requirements to be ranked by a certain date, if you want vendors to be invited in by a certain date, their responses, demos, vendor selection, you can add them each as an event on here and then check them off as they start to happen. Within each of these sections now too, if you don't want to share all of the information with the vendors, you do have the option of toggling that on and off. So if I toggle that, then now I've hidden this goals and objectives from the vendor. So you've got some capabilities around vendor visibility. The must-have requirements and vendor engagement and all the solution information, this is really going to come into play the further along in the project you get. So once you've started to, you're done adding requirements, if you're inviting stakeholders in to rank what's important to them, or anything is marked as a must-have, those are going to start to show up in this area. And this is to give those that you want this like executive level summary to go to. They can quickly see, here are the must-have requirements that our team has determined. And then as the vendors get engaged, this is sort of like their progress chart. Any organization around if you guys have disqualified anybody or shortlisted. So these are really like summary tabs that will fill in this information as you get further along. And then finally at the bottom, should you choose to allow questions from vendors, those will always populate here. You can also answer them from here. Questions are anonymous, but all of the vendors will be able to see that a question has been asked and that you have answered it. So just for what that is worth too, we'll get into some of the project settings too, where I can go a little bit into vendor questions and visibility, but high level.
So Casey, the information on this page, unless they toggle these things up top, each vendor that they invite into the RFP process will see it. Is that true for the stuff further down?
No.
I know you said they'll see the questions, but they won't see engagement status or solution counts.
No, they won't see any of this stuff. The questions, they'll see that a question has been asked. and your answer to it. But they don't see what other vendors are in the project. They don't see who's been disqualified, who's been shortlisted, et cetera. So
Yeah.
these are not viewable to them at all.
Okay, one last question on this page. Up top on the right-hand side, it says status.
Yep. This is a status for like you as a team. So you've got the option as you're creating projects. This is like your project status. So if it's active, and Sean, this is more on your guys' end, where if you have projects that are completed, or you have projects that are active, or ones maybe that started that are now on hold or paused for a little bit, this allows you to organize all projects
I see. Okay.
across your instance.
Okay. And what's the purple hat?
Yes, the purple hat, this will be accessible from anywhere within the platform. I am clicking on it and it's not popping open for me. But the purple hat is actually Olive's Knowledge Center. So FAQs, training videos, links to our like monthly training sessions are in here, blog posts, white papers, etc. This is going to be like your go-to help center. And then one other thing I wanted to point out too is that we do have in-app chat available as well. So if you are in here and you get stuck, you've got the option of chatting with me.
Great. All right,
In
thanks.
real time. Yeah.